Hey, I'm Scotty. You're not. Happy Thanksgiving. I didn't say that in the last one. And yes, I am doing these episodes because I figured get them done with, not wait till the next year. Two guys, a girl, and a Thanksgiving. That is what we're talking about. And this has the distinction of introducing one of my favorite recurring characters that only shows up twice. Pete's grandfather, played by the late great Dick Martin. He's fantastic. And this episode is about, well, Thanksgiving, of course. Johnny and Sharon's first Thanksgiving together. This is coming at a point where Pete has already quit his architecture. He's already quit graduate school because he doesn't want to be an architect anymore. And so he's kind of on his first, I lost my job, gotta get a new job thing that he goes through throughout the series. He has more jobs than anything. But he wants to be an architect. He works at the pizza place. And then he leaves architecture, then leaves the pizza place. Then he becomes a... He places people in jobs. And then he becomes a... he works for a... What was it? Makeup person place. Cosmetics place. But then he becomes a fireman and does that job back to back. But then in season 4, they don't even mention a cosmetics job. He jumps all over the place. In this episode, though, it's Thanksgiving. Johnny and Sharon's first Thanksgiving, and they want to have an intimate Thanksgiving. However, this is shortly after Ashley has told Berg she can't be with him because of her boyfriend, Justin, who has moved to town. Her boyfriend, Justin, played by John Cryer. No relation to Suzanne Cryer, who plays Ashley. It's weird. They're not related, yet they're both last name Cryer. They're not married either. They never... no connection other than being in this show. And so Berg says he's going to respect her privacy and respect her decision, but doesn't. Brings over a bunch of his stuff that she didn't even know he had. Brings it over. We meet Justin for the first time, I think, here. And then he invites them to the Thanksgiving that they didn't even know that it was only supposed to be for Johnny and Sharon, but not. But meanwhile, Pete's grandfather has shown up, who leaves his wife, Pete's grandmother, for the first time in this series. He leaves her again in season 4, but I think it's season 4. I think he shows up in season 3. I wish he showed up more. Maybe it's season 3 he leaves or not. I wish he showed up more. But so he has one of his infamous leaving your grandmother stuff, and is now here. Refuses to go back, and even threatens Pete that if he tries to get him to go back, he's gonna tell Pete's dad he left graduate school. So yeah, he's kind of forced to keep him there. So when we finally get to the Thanksgiving, everybody is there. Which, by the way, we only have one scene in the pizza place, and this was still in the two guys and a girl in the pizza place era. There's only one scene, which is where they talk to Sharon and into allowing them to go to the Thanksgiving, which goes from her apartment to the guy's apartment, because the guy's apartment is the more used set, I guess you would say. And so everybody gets together, and Johnny is obsessed with football, the football game, which a lot of people are. Like I said, the football games on Thanksgiving is a tradition. And Pete's grandfather is also there watching the football game. And you have Berg constantly trying to one-up Justin, constantly trying to split them apart. But they even say this in the episode later, like, he's trying to break up Ashley and Justin, but he ends up almost breaking Johnny and Sharon apart. Because, well, Sharon is doing all this stuff and no one is helping her, and Johnny least of all. And then for some reason, after having dinner, they decide to do charades. Like here's the thing. Or not charades, but like Pictionary or something, right? But here's the thing. After you have Thanksgiving dinner, you don't want to do anything. let alone play Pictionary or charades or something. You want to fall asleep watching a football game at that point. You don't want to do anything, right? So I don't know why they're doing it, but they do. Then they say you're gonna go get dessert afterwards, I guess. But it devolves into something that's just ridiculous, right? So they're doing Pictionary, and when it's Justin's turn to guess with Ashley, Justin gets it right away by a little circle on the top. Bert tries to go circle, and then he gets high noon, and he's able to figure out it's high noon. And then when Bert tries to do it, they can't figure it out, right? And so he tries to do one. Gone in the wind. Gone with the wind. Gone with the wind. Which I guess Justin figured out but didn't say. He would also lose the same amount of points, right? Like, they're all working together. I don't know. But then Justin does it. There's one little curve, and she's like, American in Paris. Which, I love Berg's reaction. He's like, oh, I see now. You're cheating! They just know each other better. Which is a good point. They were dating longer. They know each other better. They would know each other better. It makes sense. But Berg doesn't care. He's just jealous. So Berg changes it to charades. And this is where this probably didn't age very well. Especially with the Me Too movement. Some people might look at this and go, oh, they're forcing themselves on her. And it was a sign of the times. Okay? So he decides we're switching to charades. And then he's like, okay, movie, 3 words. Second word, like, Pete, you and I were a team. Okay. Movie, 3 words. Second word. He kisses Ashley for a long time. There's a kiss. Long kiss. Long kiss goodnight. Yes. And then Justin sees this and he decides to do the same exact thing. Okay, Pete, you and I are a team. Movie, 3 words. Second word, kisses Ashley. Oh, I'm just guessing. Long kiss goodnight. Yeah. And then they have Pete's grandpa go, okay, Pete and I, you're a team. No. It was already bad enough, but I get how back then this joke would be funny, but nowadays people would see this and go, yeesh. Like it's not one of those things that you would be like, okay. I mean, I laughed, but I have the sense of humor where stuff like that doesn't bother me. But it did come across my mind like people nowadays probably wouldn't. They wag their finger at this, especially people who are all about the Me Too movement and all that stuff. Like that's forcing themselves on her. I don't know what else to say. But I don't know. I guess I'm in defense. Right. I should mention that it's Johnny's turn to draw on there first, and he's too busy watching the football game to draw anything. But excuse me, I burped. But yeah. So after this, and everything sort of wraps up. There's a moment where Sharon's bringing down the turkey. Okay, so one thing I'm confused about is if they're having everything at Pete and Berg's, why aren't they using their kitchen stuff, the oven, the stove? She's going upstairs to her apartment to cook the stuff and bringing it down to their apartment. So why didn't they just do it in their apartment, in Pete and Berg's apartment? Why? Like, all for a joke where she drops the turkey and then Pete's grandpa goes, "Hey, why don't we take it upstairs? We'll wash it off." Which, fast as they picked it up, probably would be fine if they just wash it off a little bit. I mean, if she picked it up faster, we wouldn't need to wash it off at all. I don't think. 'Cause it's quick. I don't know if right in the front door with a doormat is, so maybe you need to wash it off. I don't know, but I don't know. But yeah, just wash it off. It's fine. Don't waste that big ass turkey, right? And by the way, in 7 episodes of Friends, this is the first time I've really seen people bringing a turkey in. Like, we saw a turkey on Joey's head, but I don't think we ever actually. Well, we do see Joey eat some turkey. Water balloon. Eat some turkey, but like an actual turkey, carving it, eating it, we don't see that. Here we see her carrying a turkey. You know. Another thing to note is that this is during the Two Guys a Girl and the Pizza Place era, where like but after the episode was over, when I was getting ready to record this, I still hummed the theme song for the Two Guys and a Girl. It hasn't got there yet, but it just popped in my head. I don't know. We did not even there yet. But yeah, and it was fun to go back and watch this. I've been missing watching this show after watching it for a while. You know, I watched for that video I did it on November 1st. I watched it through most of October, actually, catching up to that. So, in between during the Halloween Horror Months, well, like when the Halloween Horror Month was finished, I just binge watched the rest of this when I got done recording those. So, yeah, if I go back and do individual episodes, yeah, I got one for a couple for Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. So, yeah, this episode was fun. Oh, I forgot to finish the wrap-ups. So, after... So, Ashley decides that she wants nothing to do with either of them because Justin knows somehow that something that happened between her and Burke. I don't think he knows the full scope of it, but he knows something's going on. Right? And so, she has enough both of them after the kiss thing, the kiss charades, and basically tells Justin to find somewhere else to stay, and she goes home, and then Justin leaves after Burke says he's gonna stand back, and he's like, well, that's nice of you to say, that, considering she just kicked me out. And then, you know, Pete's grandpa decides, you know what, episode's almost over, let's take me home. You know, that's basically just a bit. He's like, you know what, let me see your grandmother, something like that. And he leaves. And he's like, what about my dad? Well, didn't I tell you? He's out of town. And then we have Johnny and Sharon make up, and when Johnny gives this big speech to her, you know, and then she says, okay, wash these, use the dish soap, and I'm going to take a bath. And then the end credits thing has Pete and his grandfather talking about, you know, you don't want an architect, then don't do it. Your dad's going to be so mad at you. That's about it. So, yeah, it's a pretty good episode. So what are your thoughts on this episode? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.